people like to return when they enjoy themselves. Because of this reason, I always like reading The Invention of Hugo Cabret. Written and illustrated by Brian Selznick, won the 2008 Calder Cup medal, which with the Newbery Medal are the most prestigious American children's book awards. As the author says himself, the entire book is a tribute to Georges Méliès, who together with the Lumet brothers are recognized as the first filmmakers of the history. In fact, the author says that his primary inspiration was the true story of Georges Méliès and his extraordinary silent film A Trip to the Moon, and its iconic image of the man in the moon. This image has been a great source of inspiration both for films and for cartoons. An example is Futurama, the American animated science fiction sitcom created by Matt Groening and David Cohen, and in which during an episode we can clearly see the robot Bender, one of the main characters of the fiction, speaking with the moon. The book is not only wonderful but is also awfully beautiful to look at and to read through. The words match with the pictures. In fact, it gives the impression that you are looking at a silent film. The book tells the story of a children aged between 11 and 12 years old. Hugo Cabret, who orphaned as a youth, goes to live in the walls of the train station of Paris with his uncle Claude, who shortly after abandoned him. Alone and without loved ones, cultivated in his secret hiding place the passion for automatons and for clocks. After his father's death, he decided to carry out the important mission launched by his father, to fix a broken and rusted automaton with the help of his father's notebook. To make this possible, he takes advantage of his holy uncle's teaching, stealing for survive. In the train station there is a mechanical toy booth, whose shopkeeper is an old man that only after we discover that he is the great filmmaker and illusionist Georges Méliès. This encounter will turn out to be fundamental both for Hugo and for the pioneer of the cinema, who will find again his prestige after many years of silence. With the appearance on the scene of several characters, this book becomes incredibly magical. We always tend to be very skeptical when a book becomes a movie, but not in this case, above all, when the director is Martin Scorsese. I like to imagine that the world is one big machine. You know, machines never have extra parts. They have the exact number and type of parts they need. So I figure if the entire world is a big machine, I have to be here for some reason, and that means that you have to be here for some reason too. I actually do not know if Hugo in the movie starring Asa Butterfield is right, but the machine created by Scorsese is, in my opinion, absolutely well-working and perfect. The movie Hugo, exactly as the book, is a tribute to the cinema. Even Scorsese defines his film a love letter for the cinema and guarantees the happy ending, but he also leads the spectators through several considerations such as never give up, no one is alone, there is always someone who wants to help you, or that hard work is always awarded. As you might have seen, the opening scene of the movie is astonishing, and it took 1 year in order to finish it, but it accurately reflects the book's one. Thanks to the extraordinary set created by Francesca Lo Schiavo and Dante Ferretti, we are literally catapulted in the Paris of the 13th. Cinema inspires the author, and the book inspires the director. This is the key to Scorsese's success. A reader is considerably more benefited compared with a spectator. He can use more imagination, and he can stimulate those feelings that were hidden until that moment. But due to the 3D, and thanks to the fantastic pictures drawn by the author, the eyes of our little orphan are emphasized, and each action assumes a beauty that appears almost tangible. Book and movie are an inestimable source of inspiration and homages. In fact, the director pays homage to the well-known artists and intellectuals such as James Joyce, Salvador Dalí, and the guitarist Django Reinhardt. And for nowadays artists, even Johnny Depp plays a role in this film, and he also is one of the producers of it. But it is not enough. A sequence quoted is that of the locomotive in the film Train pulling into a station, also known as the arrival of the main train, directed and produced by Auguste and Louis Lumière, 1896. According to rumors, during the first public screening, the spectators escaped out of the cinema because they thought that the train could jump out of the screen. Moreover, we cannot forget when during the scene in which Hugo and Isabelle watch the movie, the well-known scene of the comedy silent film Safety Last, starring Arnold Lloyd, is recalled by Scorsese when Hugo clutched the hands of the large clock of the train station. Like the author, Scorsese do not forget Méliès. He recreates his studio that was totally in glass. In fact, Méliès filmed his movies taking advantages only of sunlight, thanks to the roof dome-shaped. Scorsese pays also tribute to the film Trip to the Moon, Le Voyage dans la Lune. A last note on the great filmmaker is the image of the toy booth. In 1930, the star film company, the production run by Méliès, failed. 12 years later, Méliès met again one of his main actresses, who in the meanwhile had opened a booth in the train station of Paris Montparnasse. They decided to get married, managing the business together. I confess, beyond doubt, Martin Scorsese is one of my favorite directors. I cannot help emphasizing his talent and his films. So, in conclusion, I just want to say that the movie is wonderful as much as the book, despite criticisms.
And the Golden Globe goes to Martin Scorsese.
This film is for those who, in spite of everything, still believe in something.